I'm Joelle. A couple months ago, I was invited to a friend's party, and I wanted to be nice and bring something to share. But I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, so I just ran to the store real quick and I bought a box of cookies and I went off to the party. I walk up to the table, put my cookies down, and I look at what everybody else brought. And of course, the table's full of homemade goods that just all looked delicious. They smelled so good, and my box of cookies didn't smell like anything. Even though I was embarrassed, I put them down on the table anyway. Maybe someone would want to eat them. So the party comes to an end. I go back to the table to see if there's anything for me to take home, and there was a whole box of cookies, unopened. Of course, I couldn't blame anybody for not wanting to eat my cookies. Me personally, I tend to like homemade things better than store-bought too. And I'm not the only one that thinks so. According to Lynn Oliver, editor of foodtimeline.org, she wrote on December the 13th, 2011, that in traditional American society, we view homemade as caring and loving, whereas store-bought goods are often seen as cheap and dismissive. And I was thinking, well, if my goods are just going to seem like they're cheap and dismissive, I might as well just not bring anything at all. That's not exactly acceptable either. Emily Post, who is the queen of all things etiquette, wrote on her online website, emilypost.com, that to not bring anything to a party is actually seen as rather rude. In some parts of the country, bringing a gift is actually obligatory, while in some places it might just be optional. In my mind, though, I just think it's best to bring something just to be prepared, just in case. But that just brings us back to who has the time to spend baking at home all day. According to Michael Pollan, who is a New York Times author, he wrote on July 29, 2009, that traditional or normal Americans only spend about a mere 27 minutes a day doing food preparation. So that just goes to show we don't have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen all day. But we also know that none of us want to look rude to our hostess by not bringing anything. So thus, we just need to learn how to make quick and easy dishes that we can bring and share. So today I will be demonstrating the way to make non-baked cookies. First, I will show you the ingredients you need for these cookies. Second, I would like to demonstrate the way to mix and cook these ingredients properly. And third, I'd like to show you a beautiful way to arrange your simple creation. So let's start with the ingredients. You're going to need cocoa powder, 2 sticks of butter, half a cup of milk. You're going to need a half a cup of peanut butter and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. You're also going to need oatmeal and a cup of sugar. So let's start mixing these ingredients together. You're going to take your cup of sugar, pour it in a saucepan on the stovetop. You're going to need a stovetop for this. If you hadn't noticed with the title of these cookies, they're called no bake because you don't need an oven, which will make your cooking experience very quick and easy. So you're going to mix your sugar, your cocoa powder, your butter, and your milk together. And then you're going to boil that for 1 minute on the stovetop. And once you've boiled it all, you're going to have a chocolatey syrupy concoction. And so if you boiled it for 1 minute, then you'll have your syrup, and you're going to mix in your next ingredients. You're going to have peanut butter. I hope no one really eats peanut butter because you're going to miss out on some really great cookies. You're going to mix in your vanilla and your oatmeal. 2 cups of oatmeal. My mom really loves me for making these cookies because she's going with the trends and fashion of the day. And she's on a gluten-free diet, so she's been eating lots of these, but she also hates me because I'm making her fat. And I've been making a lot of these. All right, so you're just going to mix these all together. A little history on these cookies. My grandma said that her mom used to make these during the Great Depression. And they were actually invented during the Great Depression because the ingredients are pretty cheap, and you also don't need major appliances like an oven. So once you have your cookie dough all mixed together, we're going to move to the next step, which is laying them out on your wax paper so that they can harden into what we would call cookies. When you do that, like you would regular cookies, you just take a spoonful, you glob it on to the wax paper. Now this part can get pretty messy, and I usually just end up eating all the cookie dough like regular cookies, which is, in my mind, everybody's favorite part. But the awesome thing about these cookies is they don't contain eggs, so there's no chance of getting salmonella poisoning, like I was always afraid of when I ate cookie dough. Okay, once you have your cookies laid out on a tray, maybe about 3 inches in diameter, however big you want to make them, this batch will make about 15 cookies. You can always double it if you want to make more. You're going to put it in your refrigerator, and it's going to take about 20 to 30 minutes to harden all the way. And while you're just waiting, you can go and get ready for your party. Then you come back downstairs, or in my case, downstairs. And you can put whatever you want on these cookies. Often I like to make them prettier with maybe some frosting or sprinkles. You just sprinkle that on top. You can also get really creative and put maybe nuts or apples or raisins, whatever you prefer. Maybe if it's someone's birthday, you can put a candle on top. And then you put them on a plate. And this is actually, I would think, the most important part of these cookies, is because the whole point of making these is just to make yourself look good. Even though it didn't take a lot of time to make these cookies, you want to look like you spent all day slaving away in the kitchen. So make sure you arrange them on your plate properly. I always like pyramid effects. And then take them off to your party. So to close up the kitchen, today I taught you how to make non-baked cookies. First, I taught you the ingredients you need. I showed you how to mix and cook your ingredients properly. And I demonstrated a beautiful way to arrange and display your social creation. So that next time you go to a party, you don't look cheap and dismissive by buying cookies. Instead, you bring these cookies, and it looks like you did a really good job of baking all day. Thank you.